Welcome to the video blog. I'm Doug Simon, President and CEO of DS Simon Productions, and my guest today is Andrea Hoffman. Welcome to the video blog.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, Andrea is the co-author of the new book, Black is the New Green, and also the founder and CEO of Diversity Affluence. So what's the key point you're trying to get across in Black is the New Green? What are you saying?
That there's an untapped market that, is available for the taking for any marketer.
Great. And that untapped market is affluent African Americans.
Correct.
So
and we refer to them in the book as AAAs.
Great. So what are some of the things we know about the AAAs that marketers should be aware of that you found out through your research?
Well, the first and most important thing is that this audience has $87.3 billion in purchasing power. And that's a number that we came up with through My Economist. So it's a pretty powerful number, I think, that tells a story in and of itself.
Right now, in this day and age with the economic challenges, the one prejudice that has gone away is selling to people who have money to buy your products. So what are some of the techniques, approaches, tactics that marketers should be taking to reach this AAA market?
Well, the main marketing strategy in the book, and you see it throughout, either whether it's subtle or more overt as you get closer to the end of the book, is what we call plug and play. And plug and play is that, you almost have no reason for an excuse as to where do I find this audience? Because the plug and play in the book is defined as tapping into member-based organizations. And member-based organizations, for example, the National Black Society of Engineers has 30,000 members across the country through various chapters. Jack and Jill, 100 Black Men, the Black Ivy League Alumni Association, so 50,000 members. And so it's pretty easy, believe it or not, and just because it's easy doesn't mean it's not important.
So how do you tap into these organizations in a way that will be accepted by their membership?
That's a good question, and we've been asked that before without coming off as...
I wish I'd been original.
So, there are some sensitivities. Will they know that we're coming after their money because, it's an audience that has purchasing power, and will we come off the wrong way? There's definitely sensitivities to, approaching this the wrong way. But they're welcoming of it because it has to be a mutual, relationship. So it's very symbiotic. They're getting something from you, you're getting something from them. I think the way that you can really be authentic, and you do need to come from a place of authenticity, and you can't really fake that. But authenticity is, in our research, shows that you need to give back to whatever charitable arm of the organization that they have or that they support. And that needs to be a true marketing partnership rather than, let's go to your gala, we'll buy an ad in your program, we want to capture data. It's got to be a fully integrated 360-degree, partnership.
So are you seeing that there are differences in behavior between affluent groups depending on their ethnicity? And is that something that marketers need to keep in mind? Like, is an affluent African American group dramatically different from an affluent group of another ethnic group?
I think they're, believe it or not, in the book, we make the point that they're not hugely different. You're affluent, there is some assimilation, there are a lot of commonalities, but I think more than anything, it's where you reach them. So you have to reach them through what's relevant and important to them, through whether it be their organizations or alumni associations. And so it's more the touch points, and there are some cultural touch points that you need to be sensitive to. Unfortunately, the media and a lot of research puts the fear of God in marketers, and so they're really afraid to do anything. And
what do you mean by that? The fear of what? That they'll make a misstep?
There's always a fear of a lawsuit. There's always a fear of turning off a very large group of consumers that can increase your bottom line, coming off the wrong way and making the news and not a way you'd like to make the news. So there are some sensitivities, but in large part, there's easy ways to avoid that.
Okay, so what are those easy ways? Let's get specific. What are tactics that work? What are ways to do things the right way?
Well, a lot of times the companies already have agencies, multicultural agencies, and we found in our research they don't really leverage that human and intellectual capital the way that they should. Maybe they're hired for advertising, but they don't know that they can also consult them on some strategies. And they don't view them that way because they're viewed as experts in advertising, or they're a marketing company, but they're not viewed as research and strategy, when in fact there may be somebody internally that is. So leveraging your agency partners, to its full potential is one important point. The second is hire a consultant that knows the market. So it might be somebody like me who you wouldn't assume walking down the street that I would know so much about this market. So you want to hire the right person for the right job, regardless of what you think they may or may not.
But what are the things you're telling clients to do? Do they need to be more on the web? Is it the type of messaging? What type of messaging works? What type of specific products? Maybe an example of something you've done that you could talk about where this brand did this and it increased sales in that market.
Absolutely. 360-degree approach is what would be ideal in a perfect world. But a lot of times the point of entry for brands are different depending on the life cycle of their brand, what product they're promoting, what their budget is. So you have to take a lot of things into consideration. It's not a one-size-fits-all. And some just want to stick their toe in the water. So you have to take those into consideration. An example of a successful partnership is one actually that I put together a couple of years ago between Evidence Dance Company, which is a black dance company based out of Brooklyn, similar to Alvin Ailey with more a little bit of the African diaspora, and been around for 25 years. And I created a partnership with Hermes, the French brand, and that is sort of untouchable. I mean, it's an incredibly iconic brand. And so we went to them, and they loved the opportunity of the cultural arts and of dance. And the first event they did for us was hosted an in-store event at their Madison Avenue flagship store. We invited 650 people from our guest list that were supporters, predominantly African American, not totally, but predominantly. The average household income, of our supporters is, $175,000. So it made perfect sense. 250 people RSVP'd. 450 RSVP'd. 250 showed up. Inside an hour and a half, we sold $86,000 worth of merchandise, and a percentage of the proceeds went back to the charity. We continue that relationship today, 3 years later, with various different tactics that we've collaborated with them on. And what happened as a result of one of our board members working for HSBC Bank, they have to go every year and buy gifts for their clients, for their top clients. They went and spent $40,000 with their corporate gift department through buying it at Hermes. So there's so many ways that you can expand that relationship, and I think the moral of the story is imagine scaling that up and scaling that out and duplicating that in other markets, how you can increase your sales.
Right. Well, it sounds like plug and play, I guess, is a key tactic that works. Thanks so much for your time. I'm reading the book and enjoying it.
Great. Well, thank you. I think there's a lot of great insight in there, a lot of common sense, and then some aha moments. So we're excited to share it with the world and, spread the gospel.
Thanks.